Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills, where Sasquatch goes and finds some crap and shows it to you. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, but we just, poke it at you, see what you like, see what it does, see if it wiggle. Or, as one of my friends asked, do it jiggle? So, let's find out if it jiggle. I have one more little bit of media coming straight from Ozark Yeoman, previous guest, and I'm going to toss it out there right quick.
And said that the Florida bill is don't say gay that they're passing in Florida when that's literally not it at all. You're not allowed to talk about anything explicit about any lifestyle to small young children. Why? Because it was an actual problem of teachers actually doing that. Some of them were dumb enough to get on TikTok and YouTube and brag about it, and social media and brag about it. When it is,
And that is absolutely apey to me. The idea that somebody who is conversant with children about sexual matters of any sort would brag about it in social media as if that ever goes away. It'll be here forever. You could witness it from now on. So we're here with Broken System, Broken Trust. I'm going to get the chat here in a second. I still got the terrible chair. He's an old friend. Can't get rid of that. He's had some issues with CPS and some issues with cop watching in general. And I figure it's a little bit of a different perspective on the usual transparency, accountability question, and exactly where to go with what as far as what should be allowable. But I'm gonna bring him up, then we're gonna go through chat, then we'll get to the actual videos. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna bring your emblem up even with me for a second. Let everybody see you. Like, hey, how you doing? Tell everybody who you are and what you got going on.
Hey, how we doing, man? Appreciate you having me up. My name is Josh. I go by the YouTube moniker Broken System, Broken Trust, and most people call me Broken on YouTube. So, Broken is the name that stuck, and that's pretty much what I identify with now. But whatever people want to call me is fine with me. Let's see. What was the other part of the question?
What you got going on?
Right now, just actively doing cop watching, actively doing advocacy for CPS and for the family court system here in my local area. I'm a Michigan guy, so I'm in the cold weather states right now. We're coming into spring, so I should be able to get out there quite a bit more with cop watching and then CPS sort of stuff. It usually comes as a surprise, and nobody can really, it's not like you can go out like you can with cop watching. It's not like you can really anticipate where CPS would be, but if anybody did have a lead on CPS or anticipate that they were showing up and they wanted me to bring a camera out there, I'd be happy to do that for them. I've only had a couple of people reach out to me for that, but anyways, that's kind of where I see myself going.
Fantastic. All right, so basically, you encountered the CPS system in a not great circumstance. It was pretty much the railroading they seem to try to do on most anyone they come across. They involve the police, they involve judicial systems, and they utilize what appears to be a parallel judicial system that doesn't exist for people who aren't actively involved in. I'm sorry, I have something playing in the background, and I'm wondering if that crap's coming through on YouTube.
I don't think so. I'll double check it real quick.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, it would looks crazy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't hear it on my end.
I've got it muted. Whatever it is, it's not happening. But okay, whatever, whatever. All right. If there wasn't a technical issue, it wouldn't be a Sasquatch shield. So
Right.
that's the live part of live, folks. It's still over there dancing around. I don't know what that noise is. So if anything wigs out on this, we'll edit it out, pretend it didn't happen. And so everybody knows we had one bar of signal up until 30 seconds before this show started. It froze up right before we started and then came in fully strong. I've got full signal. Everything's fine. That is the first time I've had full signal all day. So if it lasts, it lasts. If it don't. I'm sorry. I can't control that.
I can testify and confirm that story, by the way.
Everybody who's ever been a guest on this show knows that my signal is unstable as Hades. All right, so let's do the chat right quick. Let's see. I'm gonna try to use. Can I use this one? Oh yeah, that'll work. All right, so we had. No, that won't go, but so far back. All right, first one in is Russell Sperry, who I'm going to give the gold, even though I can't tell you what time he come in. I'm going to give you the gold, as if it's your business gets the silver, and Terry Charms Life and Beyond gets the bronze. Welcome into the show. We also have the super mod Judd, the over mod Heather Holt, and we have Mark Wilson. Welcome to the show, brothers. Good to see you. And I think Farlapse Moves came in. Yeah, there he is. Farlapse Moves in here. Actually, that guy's got some interesting stuff going up on his channel. I'm not sure if he's got an actual purpose to all of it. I don't know if there's an actual like genre that it would fit into, but drop your PayPal in the chat. Broken. I just modded you to do it now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, a couple of the mods posted it in there. I think Judd posted in there, so thank you very much for that. But yeah, I see a lot of familiar names in here, Heather, so appreciate you being in here. Farlap, I see you as well, so just wanted to give a shout out to them real quick because I see a lot of familiar names in here.
They're great. Heather, I brought Heather in to do a mostly an interview about modding.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I mean, when you're in the First Amendment community, you need to start with a good couple of mods that are capable, that know who's who in the First Amendment community, or you will get run.
Yeah, you know what? And I got to attest to that as well, because I didn't have any mods. I was going to run my channel without any mods. And I think I got trolls that sort of ruined the experience for a lot of people. So I will tell you from firsthand experience, mods will definitely pay off for you. So I would agree with that.
Well, I might have used to be one of them trolls, out of raw boredom, drug addiction, and, late nights and insomnia. But it was all just for fun, it was just playing.
Right?
I don't do that no more. That's not it's not an honorable profession.
Well, I mean, there's no fault for enjoying this life that we have here. It's only, we're only here for a short time anyways.
That's right. That's true. And you got to do the best with what you got, whatever it is you end up with. Right? Okay. So we're going to let this roll in the background, and it's going to do, I think it's a playlist, right? So it'll just do different stuff. But while it's playing, clearly you had some sort of a nasty encounter with DFAX at some point, or a CPS at some point. And I'm not so interested specifically in the details of that encounter. I'm more interested in why my quotes are off center and will not line up. I'm sorry. That's going to continue to be a problem. But what I'm curious about is your initial response to dealing with DFAX. Did it involve trying to involve the cops, or did they already have the cops involved?
For the original, and DFAX is CPS in my state,
right,
Child
CPS,
Protective Services, right? It also goes, yeah. But just to make the distinction, and then, not to get lost in the details of what happened in my specific case, let's just put it this way. I've had 2 runs with CPS. The first one I initiated myself, and I was the fool who called CPS, and they came into my life. It took me 2.5 years to get rid of them. Second time they came in.
Help.
Right. Yeah, you think they're there to help. Yeah, absolutely. So second time they come into my life was over some false allegations, which, CPS can serve as a tool for revenge for family members or for people, for whatever reason they have to want to get revenge on you. So the first time around, I learned a lot of lessons. And the first lesson I learned was always record them. Always record CPS, like always. You don't have to publish the story like I did. But if you're holding on to the recording, you don't know how many people I talk to in CPS groups on Facebook or social media, and all of them say the same thing. Man, I wish I had recorded this. I wish I had recorded that.
Right. So anytime you deal with any form of government official whatsoever, I strongly advise you to pick up a camera and record immediately, without question, immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's a big fear from what I could tell. I participated in what they call a surveillance study. And what that is, it was a study conducted out of Canada, and they're studying the effects of leveling the playing field between government agents or people that have a habit of surveilling you. What happens when you turn the tide and you point the camera back at them? That's what this study focused on. And in this study, what they said is that there's so many people that fear recording CPS because it'll make them appear like they're not cooperating, right? Or that they're starting problems. And what I can say to that is from personal experience, you have 100% upside to recording and 0% downside.
First.
Yeah.
In all cases, you cannot protect your children unless you protect yourself. So whether it's a car crash, a plane crash, or whatever, protect yourself first so that you can then help the others. It's just
Absolutely.
standard disaster protocol. So if
Absolutely.
there's any possibility of a disaster, you do the one thing you can think of to mitigate that disaster. In this case, a simple recording, and like Heather said, don't delete it. Don't do that.
Right. Yeah, and and there are advantages to having a live streaming camera. I don't recommend that for everybody, especially if you are embarrassed or you don't want your story getting out. But a live streaming camera, obviously, if we have cop watchers in here, they're going to know that that evidence can't be destroyed. Somebody can't knock a phone out of your hand, delete the recording so that their evil acts get hidden from the world like they have for such a long time up to this point.
Yeah, I'm thinking about putting not that. Hold up, this on a T-shirt. High yield, mediocre, and aggressively average.
Nice.
See, I don't want to be a controversial show. Controversial shows have problems. I'd like to be high yield, mediocre. You know what I mean?
Right. So, that's kind of funny that you said that, because I start off my shows, I am controversial. Go ahead and hit that bell, because you're not going to want to miss the stuff that I have coming out. But it can work against you too. It can work against you.
I have been thoroughly entertained by your tale and saga of woe. I'm sorry to admit it, but a certain amount of, what is it called, Schadenfreude, something like that. Anyway, of experiencing joy at other people's discomfort. It's not because I want you to feel bad. I swear to God, it has more to do with the fact that I just didn't realize that people were that fucking petty about shit.
Right.
People do
well,
that.
Yeah.
Actually do that. They will call up animal control and tell them that you have a dangerous dog, and they will come over and have to check out your chain and storage situation for your Chihuahua.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it goes even one step further than that. People are calling the authorities, the quote unquote authorities, for pretty much anything under the sun nowadays. And it's gotten so rampant and out of control. It's like, I would like to see something done. We could save this for another show, but I'd like to see something done about people making false reports to cops or CPS for that matter. But it seems like those people are protected for some reason. And I don't understand, because they're the root cause of wasting all of those resources, if you ask me.
Yeah, man. Hey, Gypsy Auditor, ATL. Good to see you, brother. Trying to get Gypsy in for a show, but people busy. Ain't no big whoop. Hoping to get in Wildling Darlings next week. Small channel. She does these little short quotes and excerpts from poems and plays and other stuff. She's got other work she does too, but her YouTube channel is pretty much completely underrated. She does great voice work. I like it. Anyway, I enjoy every single one of her videos. She'll quote folks like Leonard Nimoy, and I think she may have done a bit from what is it? I can't remember the name of the poem, but she does some Edgar Allan Poe and some other stuff. It's neat. It's nice. A neat channel. It's real cool. I'll get y'all a link here in just a little bit. Hey, Cheesy, welcome to the show. Slow burner. You too. Great to have all of
And
y'all.
I only got a few impressions that I do, so if you want to hear impressions, I got like Kermit the Frog, maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's probably about it in my
You can
Rolodex.
do a
so.
decent Kermit the Frog. I can nail Yogi Bear. If we can find us a Count Chocula, it's on like donkey.
Well, I didn't even know I could really do Kermit the Frog until I made a recording of me like a couple weeks ago. We got this guy that's in a watchdog group, and he runs a show on YouTube. Who's like anti 1A type person. He does this Kermit the Frog impression. He does it so horribly on his show, and I can't believe this guy thinks he's good at it. So then I just start messing around with my kids one day, and I'm like, "Oh, Kermit the Frog here, right?" and I'm like, "Dude, my Kermit is like 100 million times better than this dude's Kermit the Frog."
Dude,
So I made a video on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, these guys are horrible at everything they do. Research, their views on the world, everything you name. These guys are horrible about it.
You should. Why the fuck are you doing this silliness? You should definitely have a audit style channel where you're
just voiceovers, just like, well, what we're gonna do today is, and then my Arnold Schwarzenegger impression isn't much better. That's pretty much what I got for Arnold. So
my best one is probably Mr. Snuffleupagus. It's okay, bird. We'll go down here. There's a good fix, bird. or I got a decent Alex Jones, but it fucks up my voice real good. I'm not going to do it this early in the night. I'll do it in an after dark. And
does the voice go crazier as time goes on?
Well, I go crazier as I do it. That's for sure.
We're all going crazier, right? So
welcome to the timeline, man. I hate this timeline. I'm so upset that I got stuck with the dystopian future.
You know what? I kind of have opposite feelings on that. I definitely understand the sentiment, but I have opposite feelings on that. I feel like I'm blessed because I have this technology in my hands, right? Like the live streaming camera is like in the palm of my hands. And another interesting part, if I could just touch on this surveillance study that I participated in counteracting CPS involvement with, surveillance of your own or turning a camera on them and then using social media advocacy to basically fend them off. But one of the interesting parts of that study, I said, I felt like I had the power of God in my hands with the phone. And the researcher that was conducting the study, she said, you're actually not the only person that said that.
Well, you have the power to put, like in my case, around 190 eyes on pairs of eyes on a particular event, a single thing. Depending on what that thing is, they may decide to do stuff. You can't control that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then often decide to do things.
Well, and then that's why I'm also thankful to, at this stage and with technology nowadays, it's like, you're only a few phone calls away from somebody that can basically help you get the story out, make the story bigger, right? So just to recap, in Utica, I was out with a couple other local guys that do auditing, right? And so we encounter a crazy cop, right? And he goes so crazy on camera, all the big 1A channels featured it. But the long story short of what I'm going at here is this cop was so used to getting away with that. 2 years prior to that, he had another guy on YouTube that he ran into, but the guy on YouTube didn't have a big enough following yet. So really nothing came of the incident. This time, with me and the two other guys that have much larger channels and a much bigger influence, man, this guy didn't know what he was what he was up for. So the one thing I got to say about this community is that you're only a few steps away from somebody that can help advocate for you, and I feel blessed to be in this time with the time frame, and he was in technology. Even if we're going to shit,
I don't know. I think maybe we're all shit to start with, and it's just good fertilizer to grow the future. But a lot of people don't agree. They seem to think that we're just doomed, and that whole doom and gloom concept so anti-American. I won't even entertain it.
Yeah. Well, I also think we might be in a transformation stage of, like a society as a whole, I mean, I have a couple theories on that we don't have to get into.
We'll get into that after dark. After dark is open topic. Just talk about anything.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
It'll be great. Okay, so I got this bit that I do when I bring people in. We usually do it at the 30-minute mark. It's a little early, but it's working. Everything seems functional. We're going to go with it. So I got this bit where I go and dig up the very first video a person uploaded, assuming I can find it, and it's on their channel. I'm not too interested about things that were uploaded on other channels, but it's the earliest publicly available listed video of your channel. And I call it being a YouTube paleontologist. And I got this whole bit that goes with it. So here it goes.
You don't want cars?
Yes, I'm a paleontologist.
Oh, it's okay. There's
Dynamite
in this bag, too. I am a paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist.
Paleontologists study really old stuff.
like crackers. And that is a commercial from a movie called Deary Off the Wall. It's on Amazon, and you're welcome to watch it.
Nice.
I don't care. I think you got to pay for it now. You're gonna have to pay out for that gloriousness. But no animals were harmed in the filming of Deary. Deary was like that when they got her. Y'all figure that one out later. Oh, by the way, that movie stars an amazing role by a bowl of mud. Best actor. All right, so we've got American Justice of Texas in here. We've had MVTV come in, Patriot Defense. We've also, somebody else, Gypsy Auditor, Otherhold. Yeah, okay. All right, I think I got everybody. Unless I missed somebody. I don't think so. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, if you do the typey thing, you'll get it. All right, so this was your first upload, and this is what? This is
very first video that I uploaded. It's when I noticed CPS at my house. If you want to play the video, that's fine. Just to give you a setup, the video starts with me opening the door. Prior to me opening that door, I saw the CPS car outside, and then I opened the door. The lady says, "Hey, blah, blah, blah," goes through her intro. I said, "Hold on just a minute. Let me grab a camera. I want to record this." And she says, "No, I'm not going to wait for you to record." So then the video picks up from there.
awesome. I'm not going to run out the whole video. The idea is for the people to see kind of what's going on here, for you what's kind of going on, and then they can go check out the videos on your channel.
Awesome.
It's just
Yeah.
to
And
show
then,
the general type of stuff that you do.
yeah. And then, I chose, on a personal level, I chose to upload this video. Number one, I knew the allegations weren't true. So what I would suggest, if anybody were to watch this in the future or understand, only you're going to know whether the allegations are true or false. If the allegations are true against you, you still may want to record, but you probably don't want to be as big of a dick as I am. Yeah, you might not want to be as big of a dick as I am in the videos, but.
Welcome to the show, Toe. Good to see you, brother. That's Toe for life. Him and Road Dogs have a show.
Yeah.
Come out too. They do do more work for other people than they do for themselves. So keep that in mind when you're tooling around over there. Them boys
Definitely,
everything.
definitely would recommend the Road and Toe show. They're good peeps over there.
Yeah, brother. Gypsy, I do an after show after each one of these. We bring on anybody in the chat that wants to come in. We have us a little talk, see what's up, test your equipment out, make sure everything's functional between my gear and your gear. After that, we do a show whenever you get ready. It ain't no big whoop. I ain't even in no hurry. I'm a patient man, a patient Sasquatch. Yeah, I like that. Patience. All right, so this chick sits out here for a good, what is it, like 22 minutes? No, this is 3-minute video. Or she's already done. Like, it was the other one where the chick stood out there for so long.
Yeah.
Next one. Let's see. Oh no, don't do the bad thing. Do the right thing. Right. This is a compilation, or no, this is an actual cop watch. This is an audit.
That one, I think it looks like the Novi arrest, and so yeah, that's like 55 minutes. That one's probably going to have a lot of dead air time on it because that's the raw. video that I put on there. But I mean, this goes into my journey in fighting to get cameras into courtrooms. So, you know, I definitely wouldn't recommend playing the full video just because there's so much dead air.
Just background lights and pretty lights and pretty noises. We're here to talk to you. We're not really here to watch your videos, because if they watch your videos here, why would they go watch them on your channel? It makes no sense. So
well, that makes a good point. I do encourage anybody to share the videos that I have. If anybody wants to mirror any of the videos that I have, you're more than welcome to mirror a video that I have. Just for the simple fact that I'm trying to get the message out there. And for example, like in this video, I wasn't going to go into that courtroom unless I was able to record my own court proceeding. And I basically showed up to the court about an hour early. Had a local Michigan guy come with me, MCC, Michigan Constitutional Crusader. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but incredible guy, awesome guy. He came out to film with me because I kind of told him what my plan was. I said, I'm not going out in there without a recording. And then, you know, we start researching some of the laws, and it's like, oh, you can't bring your cell phones in there. I'm like, okay, well, they're going to have to arrest me to get me to stop recording. So, but I did go up to the door several times, said, hey, all they have to do is tell me, they'll issue a bench warrant and I will stop recording and I will come into the court. But I'm not going to stop recording just because you tell me.
Right. No, I firmly believe that if there are going to be in the inclusion of the camera in the First Amendment, then you have to concede that camera to the courtroom. Does that make sense? I mean, because that's part of where the First Amendment is most powerful, is in a courtroom. If you remove any aspect of it from the courtroom, you're removing the power of the First Amendment to fully document, transfer information to the public.
Yeah, I would strongly agree with that. Now, I would throw out just a disclaimer on that. There are a couple ethical rules for recording in a courtroom that should be common sense to anybody. For example, you don't want jury tampering, and you don't want a witness that's being protected or a battered witness. Right. So there are a couple ethical considerations to be factored in if you go to do this. But of course, I'm there for my own matter, and it's my own matter and my own proceeding, and nobody's going to tell me I don't have the right to make a recording of that.
My opinion on that situation is, if I walk in there myself and sit myself down in one of those little benches and I watch the proceedings, what can I see and hear from that position in public?
Right, exactly. And then
I don't see a problem with it being broadcast on a public platform. It is a public.
Well, yeah. And I've had a conversation with an attorney actually who said, she said, you know, all the courts are kind of headed to YouTube anyways, and I've kind of seen that trend myself. So I think that's going to be great for the future moving forward, because people can also do what I do, which is expose the extortion racket that's the American courts. It was so difficult to get recordings in courts maybe just 5-6 years ago that, like, the first part of knowing how to expose the extortion racket specifically dealt with making sure that the court was going to let you get a recording so you can post it online so you can expose the extortion racket. Well, all that work is being done for you thanks to YouTube, because they're putting all this stuff on YouTube. So if you want to learn how to defend yourself in a court of law, man, that's such an advantage.
That's true. A court of law. That's true. I had a buddy of mine who took an excerpt from a town, like city hall meeting, stump meeting, something like that. It was some kind of city hall council type meeting thing. And he took an excerpt of it to comment over and put it up on YouTube. And that shit got deuced out faster than he could upload it. He was struck by the upload, not because anybody saw it and complained, but because he attempted to upload it.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's guys that I learned from how to defend myself in a court of law, and their YouTube videos would get struck all the time because, you know, you gotta imagine, you know, like a lot of people wouldn't want this sort of information getting out. It's that powerful of information. So, but technology is coming to a point where it's like there's no stopping it at this point.
Yeah, eventually they're gonna have to fold to the masses. I mean, you can't keep up the mask but so long. Eventually, what you're actually doing comes out to bite you right in the ass. By the way, this is Sasquatch Shills, high yield mediocre and aggressively average. We're not trying to break any records here. We're just trying to show up on time. Get my comments back up where we can see them. Okay, so where do you go from here, dude? Like you're videotaping most everything that moves, anything with a badge, and anything that you can really. And I'm firmly of the opinion: document, 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 and redocument. I've been telling ATL for months that he needs to make copies of what he's got off of YouTube and out of his house elsewhere.
Yeah,
Because he's
absolutely.
in the bee's nest over there. If
Oh
they
yeah,
ever
yeah.
tried to retaliate against that man, it's going to come down like a hammer on him. And I would rather his evidence not be in his possession or on his YouTube channel as a final say.
Right, because then it can be easily, basically, it can easily
Hold,
disappear. Right.
unpersonal
So
hold. Your channel
yeah,
gets
yeah,
wiped.
and
You don't have your backups. They show up, raid your house. Your backups get crushed, locked, lost, locked up, taken away, whatever. Suddenly you've got nothing.
absolutely, absolutely. And ATL, I appreciate, because he's kind of fighting some
He's
similar
great.
battles. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I advocate for him all the time and try to promote his channel every second I can. With my small little influence, if you will. But yeah, man. I mean, totally, totally. There's a saying that doctors bury their mistakes in graveyards and judges bury their mistakes in jail. So
Prison.
that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's certainly a topsy turvy kind of world. Nothing seems to make a whole bunch of sense wherever it happens to be. People people that seem to be making most of the policy seem to be the smallest segment of the population. It's not the people getting up in the morning and going to work. It's everyone else.
Hmm. Yeah.
Everybody with a job that has to go do stuff. They're not sitting here online reeing and screeching at the heavens. You know, they're
Oh
work.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, there's definitely been a concerted effort to keep the masses dumb and distracted for a long time, and I was included in that. I mean, I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I was busy watching movies and sports and
I don't.
all
Well,
my favorite things and all my favorite pastimes, and I can't find any interest in those things
you
anymore.
got to remember, I'm an '80s baby. I was raised on free. I'm firmly of the opinion that you don't need to know how I built my channel. We can do it with music montage. You show me just, and then my channel exists. Music montage done.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Ricola. Probably get a copyright on that one. I'm sorry. That probably
Yes.
took your drums out.
That's okay.
I'm a terrible person. Oh Lord. One day I might tell y'all a story about something that happened yesterday. My wife gave me the coldest burn I've ever received from anyone ever, and I've been a construction worker for 30 years. She burned me so bad it didn't even hurt. It cauterized the pain. My fifis are fine because I was more impressed than offended. One day I'll tell the story, but oh my God, I have to come to terms with what took place because she's a nice lady. She doesn't generally do the whole, needle and burn thing. Boy, she got me good. One day I'll tell that story, but I'm still just a little emotionally traumatized by it so far.
If you need some ongoing therapy, you can always reach out to me privately, brother.
I might need some therapy. It's true. I'm gonna tell you the honest to God's truth. It hit me so hard, so deep. I didn't even want to cook for her later. Almost had to go hungry. But, my greater good came out and I cooked for everybody involved. It's okay. It's all right. I mean, hey, she learned from the best. I can't fault her. Perfection's hard to beat.
Right?
Proud I
Right?
witnessed it.
All I know is I'm talking to a man right now who knows what to say.
Yeah. If there was something, no, dude, I was speechless. I was struck speechless, but it wasn't because I didn't have anything to say. It was because there was nothing that could be said. I challenge anyone to come up with a smart ass remark that would put her back. Nope. Burn. I'm talking called nuclear fire blast. Burn. Glowing in the dark. I'm still embarrassed. 2 days later, I'm still a little bit astounded that came out of my wife's mouth. I'm just, wow. Pride. That's pride. Yeah.
Well, shout out to your wife. Maybe she needs a YouTube channel as well.
Oh, she won't do it. She refuses. She won't have no part of. She won't even come in to chat and chat in here. She's chatted in chat maybe once. She might not even be watching. I don't know. She generally doesn't pay attention to my streams. She has to
right.
my ass all day. Why would she tune in?
Right. Well, and I'm kind of curious, how other people that are cop watchers or 1A activists, if they get support from their friends and their family, or, do their spouses support them, or if their significant others in their life support them. Because mine wishes I would just quit doing it.
I've interviewed a few, and in general, the people around the auditors tend to support them, although individuals often don't. I know that sounds strange, but like either the kids won't approve and the wife does, or the wife approves and the kids don't, or there's some mixed bag between them.
Yeah. I mean, and I totally get if somebody isn't fully on board or fully supportive, because I do understand with some inherent risks that come with doing what a cop watcher or what a 1A activist does. There's inherent danger that comes with it. So I totally understand, like, for example, why my fiance doesn't like it, drawing attention or maybe putting a spotlight on you when you don't necessarily need to.
But I missed Bigfoot-9. Hold on. We got Bigfoot-9 in here. He's a big bad author now. He's done starred in a couple of movies, got him a couple of books written. Got Keeper of the List in the house. Let's see. We got Angel Cacique. Good to see.
My Angel. Sorry, I had to do that.
We could share or something.
Show Me State is in here.
Pretty sure there's plenty to go around. As if it's your business. Keeper of the List. Show Me State. What's up, brother? Good to see you. I'm gonna get him in here. We're gonna arrange it. I found somewhere for him to get a signal on his phone, and we're gonna have him come in and do a show, or at least show up for After Dark one night. We'll do that or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I have a particular reason to talk to Mr. Kermit myself, because I am extremely, excessively proud of what he's done with his channel over the past little while. He started his channel about a week. Well, no, he had a channel, and it was one of those sad channels that couldn't grow. You know what I mean? Fertile ground, well done, no problems, just nothing happened. Nobody saw his videos, nothing happened. I'm like, hey, bud, you should start a new channel and just don't say nothing about who you are. He did that shit. Bam, 300 subs. Bam, 600 subs. Growing quick.
Nice.
It's just beautiful, dude. I love seeing that stuff. That means that YouTube knew what you were going to say before you said it and shut you down without the chance. And you outsmarted them. I love it.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's the reason why I hope I start seeing more people mirror the content that's on here, so that on your channels, even the bigger channels are starting to experience problems with shadow bans, things like that. So it's like, you don't have to be a small channel to be affected. You can be a big channel and notice that things like that are happening. So, the more people...
Or NC Tyrant Hunter. NC Tyrant Hunter's been hovering right under 100,000 for the past 2 months or so. There's no way in hell that man only gets 100,000 views. He's pulling down like freaking 30, 40, 50,000 views per video of just random him riding down the freaking road gets 30,000 views. So
yeah.
You tell me that some of his best work over here only got 60,000 views, when him riding in a car alone on an interstate gets 350 live watchers. Sorry, YouTube, that shit don't add up.
Right. Yeah, definitely like to see Jeff get over 100,000 subscribers for sure, man.
Bounces up to just barely under 100,000, lose like 3,000, pop back up to just under 100K and fall back down. It don't make no sense at all. I'm sorry, mathematically speaking, that is unlikely to the extreme.
Yeah. And I just want everybody to know too, there's, if you are in the 1A camp, there's also what they call a watchdog camp, which is kind of like the opposite of 1A camp, right? The important part to keep in mind with these folks is that they actively call to shut down 1A channels or to take away views or to
Yeah.
get the video age restricted. So these are strategies, and they've been these plans have been announced publicly. So I'm not revealing any kind of ginormous secret by this, but there are people out there actively calling to take your channels down, guys.
They I don't understand the anti-First Amendment concept. If you have something to say, I firmly believe you should be able to say it. The idea that someone wants to shut you up because you think cutting a man's tongue out does not prove him wrong. It proves you're afraid of what he might say.
Yes, absolutely. And then these watchdog guys, because these are where the majority of the trolls on my channel come from, is the watchdogs, because I kind of take them on head on as well. Because I mentioned that what you just said. I'm like, so you're afraid of what somebody is going to say. It's just showing me a lot more about you than it is me. And then they'll come on my channel and then they'll start screaming, well, I thought you were a First Amendment advocate. I'm like, okay, so I am. But you seem perfectly fine depriving somebody of their right to free speech. I don't mind depriving you of your free speech on my channel. I'm not going to go try to cut out your tongue and prevent you from saying it anywhere else. That's the difference.
Right. No, I mean, I'm firmly of the opinion. I'm going to say this now. I usually do this at the end of the video, but I am a free speech advocate. YouTube is not a free speech platform. I am not required by any link to deal with any of the bullshit involved in any of my guest lives. I will douche you out, or one of my mods will douche you out, or the guest will douche you out so fast that I won't even know there was a problem. I designed it this way. Couple of weeks, I'll go check, see who's blocked, and go unblock some people, and maybe not. But while we've got a moment, I've got a Yeet in here who has changed his name again to Tyrant Poaching USA, which is great, by the way. I love that. But I've got to go back to the name of your episode. I think the link still works, but I got to change the name if you're going to do that, because he changed it the day after my episode. Maybe want to poke him in the eye.
Yeah. Yeet, what was it? Police Brutality Radio before that?
Mm-hmm.
And then before that was Yeet. So, yeah, Yeet, you got to stop changing your channel name, buddy.
I don't mind changing his name, but I mean, the day after? Come on, at least give me 24 hours.
Right.
That's all I ask, man. I think it's too bad. All right, so what you got planned for the future, man? You got any kind of anything happening?
As far as my activism goes,
your YouTube channel largely. If you've got other platforms that you function on, you can throw those links in the chat.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. I do advocate on Facebook a lot. That's where a lot of the CPS groups that I belong to are. So I'm a part of Facebook, but as far as the future goes, my advocacy is going to continue for a couple of reasons. Number one, these folks, the public servants that keep dealing with me and interacting with me, they keep giving me these little tickets and stuff, and then they keep inviting me back to interact with them. So I have no choice but to keep going on this journey because I continue to have forced interactions with these folks. But even if I didn't, I'd still pick up a camera and record cops anytime I saw them. And then, like I said, if I saw a CPS somewhere or somebody were to call me and say, hey, just to let you know, my brother has been talking crazy and I think CPS might be showing up tomorrow, I'll let people in my local area know, hey, just call me. I'll be there with camera. I don't have to publish it, but, I'll be there to help you out. So,
oh, yeah, the evidence is everything.
Yeah.
Is worth 10,000 cops outside your house.
Absolutely. So the direction for this channel, you can expect a heavy dose of cop watching and a heavy dose of common sense being delivered for our for-profit criminal justice system right now in an attempt to try to curb the extortion racket that they got running in those courtrooms. And so as long as anybody knows a basic script, you can help expose that extortion racket. I am 2 for 2 on my court cases, and I'm going to be 3 for 3. But they didn't give me my latest trial until December.
Weird.
So a traffic infraction has this court needs so much time to prepare, or they have other cases to deal with, or maybe they just want to let the wave of coverage on this thing to die down. But for some reason, they thought it was a smart idea to wait 8 months before they see this case.
Right. Probably so they can get it out of the news if at all possible. We got Mystery Schooler in here. He does a mix mash of myths, legends, old stories, newspaper clippings, old internet posts, all kinds of stuff. When he does his live streams, pop in on them and check them out. There's no telling what he might be going over today. I've been begging him to get a co-host on so that when he has his momentary lapses of signal or whatever it is that's happening, somebody else can just sit there and babble. And it does it. I don't know. I guess they'd have to be somewhat educated on the topic, but I mean, I can read off a screen is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I will have to.
it.
I will like to check Mystery Schooler out. Does he
He's cool,
cover? Does he cover any Sasquatches though?
All kinds of stuff. I can't specify what it is because it's a little bit of everything mythic, oopartish, everything that's not necessary. If it could be shoehorned into the topic of pseudoscience, he's willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, so whether it's aliens or ancient aliens or reptilian overlords or whatever it is you want to talk about, he's the guy to go to and have a conversation. He might not be on board, but he'll certainly get play along.
Well, I don't know if they're aliens or not, but something makes me wonder what keeps probing me every time I go camping. So,
do you have any Boy Scouts nearby?
No,
I was never a Boy Scout, but I ate a brownie once.
Right?
You got about 7 minutes left or so. You got anything pending? Anything imminent?
Right now, I've got a family court case that I'm trying to draw some attention to, and it's my own, so it's a little more difficult because I find myself in the challenging position of having to advocate for myself.
Yeah.
So if anybody can help me share this story, I've been trying to get closure on my own case for about a year now. CPS was out of the picture in 1 week, but I've still got a family matter that all of this kind of originated from. And so it's to terminate a guardianship with other family members that I have, which is what prompted the CPS allegations against me.
In a nutshell, you have a future
yeah,
case.
it's been a year. It's been a year, and I've gotten nowhere with this case. So it's been a year. They won't hear the matter. They keep postponing it. And this is one that I want heard. That traffic ticket that they gave me, if they want to postpone that one forever, I don't care. But when it comes to my daughter, I want to get closure, and I want to get the truth to what's going on in this case, because it's going to be shocking to anybody that pays attention to my story anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always harder to do for oneself is most difficult because of that just encroaching laziness that takes on whenever it's like, all right, so I've straightened everybody else's crap out. Now I got to do mine.
Yeah. No, and I'm glad you brought that up too, because that's what it seems like my life has been like. It's like I was so busy trying to get everybody else's life in order, with the kids that I have, fiance, everything, and I kind of lost focus on myself. And there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to do, and one of them is get this family court case closed so I can move on with my life. So anybody that wants to help me in that endeavor, I would greatly appreciate it. Everybody in this community has been so just incredibly supportive and helpful to me, and I'd just like to thank everybody that's watching now or may watch this later.
Do you want me to actually play your new video, or do you just want the link shared? I'm sure.
If you,
well, I was talking to Gypsy Auditor. I'm sorry, he was typing.
Oh, my bad.
Because oh no, he's talking to Yeet. My bad. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. But yeah, so I'm definitely trying to get that matter resolved in my family case, because that's kind of where my YouTube journey started anyways, was trying to get the court systems out of my daughter's life, and they just seem to keep postponing it. Yeah. And I have a feeling it's because they're trying to cover up secrets.
And consider this, folks. The longer they can postpone involvement in your life, the more likely something unbeknownst to you, takes place in your life to re-invite this type of exposure to the judicial system back in. I mean, it's the same with anything. If you catch a
Abs-
traffic ticket, you're listed as a possible speeder, and they watch for such things. If you run a
right,
stop
right.
sign, you're listed as a possible drunk driver. They watch for such things. Total a car, they watch for such things. You know, and the same is true
Absolutely.
for CPS or any other government institution. They simply wish to criminalize any person, any citizen they can come across for monetary gain.
Right, and then you also that was brilliantly articulated, man. I couldn't have done a better job. One other thing said in that surveillance study that I touched on was, parents often feel like they have to be a perfect parent. So if you have ups and downs in life, every down is just capitalized on by the court system. And I'm not saying all the court cases are corrupt out there, but for the ones that are corrupt, or that you've got a judge maybe taking bribes or a CPS worker doing a favor for a family member, imagine the confusion that parent will walk around with for the rest of their life, wondering how they got victimized by a system like this. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but once is too much.
Yeah, no. Who was it that said I'd rather 10 guilty people walk free than one innocent man go to prison?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I don't remember the saying, or who said it, but yeah, absolutely. And the Fourth Amendment kind of touches on the premise of that statement as well, which is, the Fourth Amendment is established so you don't,
Property and
you know,
effects.
unlawful searches, right? And so there's case law that establishes even if there's an unlawful search and the police find something, basically what the case law says is a search is either good. Yeah, a
It's
search
the
is either good or bad at the beginning, and it doesn't change character by what it turns up.
right. No, it doesn't make it down. It's from what is it? Water from a poisoned well is what they call it. It ruins the whole case.
Yep,
You cannot use
absolutely. And then
it as
yeah, and then it promotes future behavior like that as well. So of
exactly.
course that's why I hate when people say I have nothing to hide, so yes, you can search my vehicle. It's like you're opening the door for the rest of us who want to be left alone. Just grow some balls, pull out a camera, record the cops, and say no, you're not violating me today.
Make them work for it. Make them do their job. That's all I ask. They
Absolutely.
do their job. They do it honestly. That's all I ask. I simply don't want any of the shortcuts, none of the nepotism. I don't want any of the corruption or none of the backsliding, none of that silly shit. Just do the job you were hired to do. You get paid quite nicely. Your benefits are unfreaking believable. No one has to go out on the take. It's not required. If you feel like it's required, change jobs.
Yeah,
Deliver ice cream.
absolutely.
I'm an Amazon driver. Uber Eats. I don't know what to tell you, man. But if you're terrified of going out on the street so bad that you're going to pretend that a man's laptop is a deadly weapon, you shouldn't be a cop. If
So
you're
much for so much for being brave and heroic, huh?
if you're so terrified that that dark thing in a person's hand that is obviously filming you might be a gun, you should not be a cop. If you're doing something that dark thing in that man's hand or that woman's hand is recording you and you're worried about it, you certainly shouldn't be a cop. I mean, you have a camera on yourself, you have a camera on your car, and y'all turn it off every chance you get. You're not saving power and you're not saving money. You're saving yourself. And we can see this as citizens. We can see right through it. Oh, you turn that camera off. There must be a reason why. Maybe not. Maybe it was the end of the shift. Maybe we were going to get a drink. But either way, just leave them on, man. It's just data.
Absolutely.
We can extirpate
Absolutely.
anything we don't want to see later. When we say, okay, well, that's just a bird taking a poop on a freaking sidewalk. We don't have to watch that. We can get rid of it. But when you start beating folks down in a parking lot because they went back to go get their ID out of the car, that's uncalled for. Simply,
Yeah. And just if I could ask you a quick question before you close out the show, maybe this can continue on in the comments too. Is what do you think is more powerful, recording openly and capturing objections, or recording silently? Or do you think they both have strengths and weaknesses?
firm, not only silent but private recording. I firmly
Mhm.
believe that if I can walk into a public space and see it with my eyes, I should be able to not only record it, but not tell you shit about it. It's
Yeah. Well,
my life.
my question came from some people would always tell me, "Hey, stop recording and just kind of secretly record in your pocket," right? But there's a big part of me that prefers to capture the objections on camera. The more times they say, "Hey, no, you can't record here. It's state law,"
That's
you know, it right. So as long as you can capture the objections, it's kind of like to
That's
me. To me, I think that's slightly more powerful than catching something that might be said on a secret recording.
Well, I'm not talking about a secret recording. I'm talking about like a pair of glasses streaming to my phone in my pocket and just talking to
Yeah.
people like I'm talking to you right now. You know we're live, but I never had to tell you. I didn't have to specify when we went live. We were just having a conversation. We could have rolled it right into the live. I used to do it that way. It got a little bit hairy when people didn't realize they were live and they'd say things. So.
Oh shit, we're live. No.
Right. Now it makes it really, really obvious that we're going live. But, hey, man, guess what? You made a show. You did that thing. We're gonna.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man, the whole thing. We're gonna do the whole play out. I'm gonna pop you up, let you do a shout out to whatever channels you'd like to shout out, and then we'll drop the link in the chat. I'll do it more of a panel style from here on out, but you get the deal.
Hmm.
I'm not going to do the whole bye bye Blackbird thing that I usually do, where I say bye to everybody twice through the thing. We're just going to tool off into this now. Give them your spiel, buddy. Tell them who you are.
Okay. Well, Broken System, Broken Trust, you can subscribe to me, but I'd prefer that you help another channel, ATL Auditor. And then one of my favorite channels that's still growing is MLH, or Mexican Longhair. So if you guys can sub to those channels, that would be greatly appreciated. And then, of course, if you want to come over and listen to my nonsense, feel free.
Oh, right. That was fantastic. That's probably one of the best outros I've ever seen a guest do. Honest to God. I've had people like 007. He wandered off on his outro for 25 minutes straight. It's great. I loved it.
Hey, I can't fault anybody because I have a habit of going off on tangents myself. But for
Me
some
too.
reason, I think I do my best work live anyways. So
Yeah, I do my best work under pressure. I always have.
yeah.
But
No, I actually prefer to be live over anything else because, and I think we were talking about this before we rolled onto the show. Is just it sounds so scripted and fake when I do it any other way, So, but this is real life. I'm a real guy. I do cop watching in real life, so you might as well do it live.
That's right. All right, brother. I'm gonna mute you for a second. We're gonna do the little talk out, and then I'm gonna bring everything back up and let it go balls to the wall. We'll have a good one.
Thank you for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you coming up, man. A lot of people think I'm trolling them and don't believe that I'm actually trying to give folks a good shake out here. But what can I do? Do the best we can with what we got, right?
Exactly, man.
We got
Thanks
the
again,
show
man.
in. I was really worried about it. That lack of signal and opening was really bothering me.
Well, and then the universe aligned right at the right time for us. So
It's been flawless, and I'm amazed.
yeah, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate the audience as well,
Yeah,
man.
brother. Appreciate it. All right. Well, that's the show. We're gonna drop out and come back in just a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and play everything out, and we're gonna wrap this up. I will have last week's show edited for I think a Monday upload. I might do it Tuesday if I don't have a guest for Tuesday. Wildling's darling is supposed to let me know today, tomorrow, sometime. I'm supposed to know something. I'm supposed to have some information, and I'll share it when I get it. But until then, y'all know how this goes, right? We turn that crap off. And of course, you missed me.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, no. 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 We don't have guests. We're not doing this today. Oh no.